Everything out of me. They gonna get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that. Believe that. I'm a Raven. It's on. All year. Every year.
When it comes to the NFL in 2023, we know that the offense is king and that, when healthy, defense wins championships. And between these groups, we get all of the GOATs, such as Tom Brady, Johnny Unitas, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson, and so on. You get it. But there's another group of players who are not often represented when speaking about the all-time greats. A special group. Now, this special group scores more points than any other player on their team and are called upon when the others fail or when the game is on the line. Having a great player from this special group can literally mean the difference between the ultimate victory or humiliations galore. In this most recent Super Bowl, we hear about the successes of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, or the valiant efforts put forth by Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith, all of course deserving of this praise. But with 8 seconds left in the game and the score tied at 35, the Chiefs had made it to the Philadelphia 9-yard line, where the game would not be decided by Patrick Mahomes or any other offensive nor defensive player, but by Harrison Butker, the place kicker from the special teams. As his 27-yard field goal kick sailed through the night air and between the goalposts, the Chiefs were all but assured and eventually did hoist the Lombardi Trophy. Now, that all sounds great, and this retelling is not intended to take credit away from either of these teams' offensive or defensive units, but for a long time, the place kickers and special teams in general have been the NFL's red-headed stepchild, and you know it. The purpose of this video is not to make everybody that watches it into a field goal kicking enthusiast, or to say that place kickers should be in the MVP voting circle every year. The main goal of this video is to try and shine some much needed light on an underappreciated position group and also show why Justin Tucker, the Baltimore Ravens place kicker, is not only the best Raven player, but also the ultimate weapon and unequivocally the greatest kicker to ever play the game. Hey guys, real quick, if you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and give it a like. And if you want more, you can head over to my channel and hit that subscribe button while you're there. Also, if you know anyone who is a Ravens fan that might enjoy this video, please share it with them. Alright, let's get back to the video. As is my customary way of approaching these sort of videos, I will be relying heavily on statistical analysis and objective truth, as I feel it is the best way to prove an argument or make a valid statement. Of course, if you think I'm full of it, you can go ahead and tell me why in the comment section. I do love a good and respectful back and forth. Anyway, as the title and thumbnail suggest, yes, I do believe that Justin Tucker is the quote-unquote best Raven and not Lamar Jackson. I do also, of course, love Lamar, and if you don't believe me, or you want to know more about his career in comparison to other contemporary QBs, you can check out the video I did about him right here. So, why, you might ask, is Justin Tucker the best Raven and the greatest kicker of all time? Well, I can show you why, and in doing so, hopefully I can show you how important it can be to have a great kicker on your team. Unlike comparing quarterbacks, which have 10, 12, 15 different types of metrics and categories to look at, kickers are much more straightforward. How consistent is this kicker, and how far can this kicker kick? So, the best kickers are the ones that can make long kicks consistently over their career and in clutch situations. To demonstrate a kicker's skill, I have compiled their career attempted and successful field goals broken down by distances ranging in yards from 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and 50 plus. Shown here are some of the names you'll find when looking up the title of greatest kickers of all time. Now, don't get confused because yes, Justin Tucker's name does come up when you look up this title. But what would be the fun in revealing all of his stats and accomplishments at the start? So, I won't read all these stats out for you because you can pause if needed and read them yourself. But I will be discussing interesting characteristics or things I find of particular note or importance. So the first stat I want to look at is basically that Adam Vinatieri is one of the most consistent and predictable kickers up here. He's sort of the gold standard of kicking, if you will. Stephen Gostkowski is notable for not only having a higher percentage of kicks beyond 50 yards than even Justin Tucker, but also that his 40 to 49 range is the only kicker here which is lower than his 50-plus range. Sebastian Janikowski is famous for his long kicks with his personal best at 63, but his percentage is much lower than others. He also has a much higher amount of kicks at this range. Matt Stover was almost automatic from inside the 40-yard line, but once you got beyond there, his accuracy seems to fall off of a cliff. And Gary Anderson has the lowest percentage on this list from beyond 50, but both him and Morten Andersen are some of the OG kicking greats, and they perfectly show the growth of kicking from the NFL in their day to the current era. Now, we're going to step into the modern time frame of kickers, and these 4 kickers shown not only represent great kickers over their career, but their different career lengths also showcase how the number of kicks can impact the rising or falling of their numbers over time. Mason Crosby, who's the longest tenured kicker here, has his numbers that are quite comparable to Adam Vinatieri, who I stated before is the gold standard. The main difference is that Crosby's significantly higher percentage under 30, showing higher consistency. Greg Zuerlein is sort of a modern equivalent to Matt Stover, but still better in every category from top to bottom. Young-hee Koo hasn't been in the league very long, but has shown good range and his accuracy has progressed well through his first 5 years. He also has a higher percentage of 50-plus yard kicks than Justin Tucker, but at 20 less attempts than even Gostkowski. We will have to wait and see if this trend continues. It's also of note that out of all the kickers I've shown you, Koo has the shortest career long at 54 yards. Last but not least, Evan McPherson is the newest kicker on this list for me, and while he hasn't been around long enough for a true reading, the sample size he's shown is pretty promising. He's been impressive through 2 years, and with some excellent kicks he already has a 59-yarder to his name. But just like with Koo, we will need to see more of that consistency from him. Although this isn't in the data, he did nail a 42-yarder in Week 1 against the Browns, but also missed a 51-yarder later on in the game. Now, I said that this was a video about Justin Tucker, didn't I? Well, let's get into talking about the man, the myth, the legend, and how all of these kickers I've laid before you fall short of the greatness that is Legatron. Automatic. Emperor Justkickian. Okay, sorry, I made up that last one for the video, but I still think it works. Oh, I know. How about you guys give me your best Ravens player nicknames in the comments below? And no, you cannot put Lamarvelous, unless that's just your favorite to hear over the broadcast. Anyway, I have up for you now all the accolades and accomplishments that Justin has earned throughout his 11-year career. I mean, I say that, but there are more measurables, of course, that I could have put up here, but you get the message. As with before, I'm not going to read everything out of here, but I think the most impressive stat for me is the record-setting 17 for 17 in either the last minute of a game or in overtime. Clutch. Some other stats that I didn't put up here but I find noteworthy are that he is the fastest kicker to reach 1,000 points, he's the fastest kicker to hit 300 field goals, and he's tied for having the most 50-yard field goals in a game with 3. He had a 52-yarder, a 57-yarder, and a 54-yarder. Now, to show why Justin Tucker is the ultimate weapon, we're going to create a scenario. Let's say you're any other NFL fan base and Justin Tucker's not on your team. At what range are you confident your kicker will make the game-winning kick? Where does the broadcast place that invisible red line that the offense has to get to, or that the opposing defense cannot allow you to reach? Is it at the 30-yard line for a 47-yarder? The 35-yard line for the 52-yarder? Maybe even the 40-yard line to have your kicker try a 57-yard kick. By that point, we've already passed the furthest kicks by some of the greats, like Matt Stover, Gary Anderson, and even Atlanta's Koo. This question can dominate the last minute or 30 seconds of a game, but if Justin Tucker is waiting to come in, the Ravens offense knows they have less field to cover, and you can bet the opposing defense knows they can't give up ground past midfield. The greatest weapon is the one that is feared by both the opposing offensive coordinator, who knows they have to have a lead of at least 4 points before giving Ravens the final chance, and the defensive coordinator who knows that every yard he gives up after midfield raises Justin's chances ever closer to 100%. So, I've shown you how he's the greatest kicker of all time, and that he is also the ultimate weapon. But some of you Ravens fans may still be curious as to why I say that Justin Tucker is the best Raven. He is simply far and away the most consistent and highest achieving Raven on the roster today. Lamar is an amazing quarterback who has won a unanimous MVP. But if kickers had an MVK, I think we would all know that Justin Tucker might have a few of those on his mantle. Maybe in 2013, when he led the league in both field goals attempted and field goals made, all with a 92.7% accuracy and hitting a 61-yarder. Or even 2016, where he was 10 for 10 beyond 50 yards, 38 for 39 overall, which put him at a 97.4% accuracy on the season. I would even think his 2021 season might get him an award after going 6 for 6 beyond 50, 35 for 37 overall, and hitting an NFL record-setting 66-yard field goal game winner against Detroit when the Ravens were down 16-7 with 3 seconds left. My point is, Marlon Humphrey is my favorite Raven, and he's a top 10 corner. Mark Andrews is an elite tight end in this league, and Lamar Jackson is one of the greatest quarterbacks in this era of football. But Justin Tucker surpasses all of these marks by being the single greatest player at his position in the history of this sport without question. Now, to wrap up, I'd like to ask you guys some questions and get your thoughts in the comment section below. First, what would you guys say to a rule change that made field goals worth 4 points if they were made beyond 60 yards? That might make it a bit more interesting at some of these end games. And second, do you guys think any of these kickers, or any kicker coming up, will ever surpass the legacy that Tucker is setting up for himself? Alright, well, that's it for me, guys. This video, like the Lamar one before it, took a while to gather all the data and extrapolate it here for you. So, if you did enjoy it, and you made it this far in the video, please feel free to leave it a like, and send it to someone who maybe needs to see why Justin Tucker and kickers around the league deserve more hype. Thanks again, and I'll see you all real soon.